Hey, what's going on, vinyl community? Wanted to come back and do episode 2 of 70s Hard and Heavy. Want to get out some albums that are more obscure, more underground, some more so than others, but definitely heavy or heavy psych, acid rock, proto metal, or doom metal, anything that falls along in that vein. The first album I'm going to show is a little less obscure and not 70s at all, but this is Blue Cheer's 1968 debut, Vincebus Eruptum. This is just a classic album. Embossed cover. This originals came with the embossed cover on the Philips label. No, it's really a heavy metal roots album. It's one of the loudest and heaviest at the time it came out. Recently read in M.Popoff's book, Ye Olde Metal, he had an interview that he did with Dickie Peterson. Dickie Peterson died in 2009, unfortunately. But during the interview, he was talking about where they got the name Blue Cheer and also the title of this album. I thought I'd share before I go on to the next album. But he said they were really into the blues, but they really weren't into being sad all the time. So that's where the band name came from. And then Vincebus Eruptum stood for We Control Chaos. One of their friends came up with that. So I wanted to share that, and definitely needs to be shown in a video series like this, I would say. Next up is a band called Silver. This is a little bit more obscure, and there's not a lot known about this band. This is their album Children of the Lord, and this album is really good rock, hard rock, but it has a killer heavy psych track on here called Tail Dragger. It's misprinted on here as Fail Dragger on the album, but this thing is just killer. Take a listen. So like I said, there's not a lot known about this band. If you know anything about them, please share. But this came as a promo, just like this. I didn't have the album cover. I believe there's a German copy that has a little bit better album artwork on it. But this said advanced reviewer copy, it's confidential. And I don't know if anything ever happened with this band or not. Not a whole lot to be found out about them. But great stuff nonetheless. Oh yeah, okay, next up, I want to spend a few minutes talking about Hound. I mean, I've had a lot of fun with this band, listening to it quite a bit. Hound, this came out in 1970. This is their only album, Growers of Mushroom. This thing is just killer. I mean, I was hooked the second I heard the blistering opening riff of Freelance Fiend.
But they don't add up so much compared to you. And I'm gonna do as a good man should. I'm gonna bring my...
A lot of people recognize the scratchy vocals of Pete French, who did an album with Atomic Rooster and also a live Cactus album, Hot and Sweaty. This was recorded in one 11-hour session, so it's unbelievable how they pulled that off. This is one of those really nice high quality Akarma reissues. Nice gatefold. It has a little bit of bio about the band. Got some notes there that I made. It talks about some of the other albums that some of the band members were into. Very high quality. Also comes with a nice fold out poster. Originals of this album, there were very few printed, and they're very difficult to find. Thanks to Akarma doing these reissue packages, it's a lot more affordable and easily attainable. Pete French, he named the band after reading a short horror story about this dog who had died but rose from the dead and came back to its owner, and it was all covered in leaves. I'll leave you to think of where the title Growers of Mushroom came from. but it's a great album. One I like to revisit a lot and been listening to like crazy. The last album I want to show is Truth and Janie. You might have saw the t-shirt I had on in the previous video, so it's only right to get these guys out here now. This album came out in 1975, and this thing is an absolute shredder. And the production on this is very good too, so very good sound. It doesn't have that garage sound that some of the other albums have of the more obscure 70s bands. It's very well balanced. It doesn't have these crazy solos going off into outer space. It's very well balanced, great solos, but it's very guitar driven. Fantastic album. First heard about No Rest for the Wicked, and then also their live album that came out a year or so later from Greeno, when Greeno did his video, his journey through 70s hard psych. As soon as I popped over to YouTube and heard a sample of the band, I was hooked and had to have it. This is a 2016 Rockadrome reissue, so you can get over there and pick this up for less than $20 before shipping. The reissue comes with an insert that has a bio of the band, and then also the lyrics on the back, which is really cool. And then it's made up to have the label, the original label from the original 1000 press run. If you can find an original, they're very hard to find and very expensive. So thanks to Rockadrome doing the reissue, they're very easy to come by. Very high quality pressing, was really happy with that. So, oh yeah, I recently read that Truth and Janie also did a show at LA, some kind of LA Psych Fest or something. So if anybody was there, leave a comment, let me know how they sounded. So everybody, thanks for watching the video. We did Blue Cheer, Leaf Hound, Silver, and Truth and Janie. And so I got a line up for the next video for episode 3. Hope you enjoyed. If you have a comment, please leave one below. Everybody in the vinyl community, keep listening to music.